Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to another episode of Hello the podcast. This is episode 29. Close to number
29.
30.
Oh my god. Man, time's flying, honestly. It is zooming.
I know, this podcast is growing. It's growing
I
up.
feel like the lockdowns don't help, you know?
What?
Your sense of time just goes out the window. Yeah. So it feels like I wake up on every sort of Wednesday. I wake up and I go, is today Wednesday? Do we upload today? Do we record today? I panic every time, and then I'm like, wait, did I upload last week? Did it schedule? And
yeah.
Oh, I don't know what it is, just anxiety or something. But I panic, but it's fine because the episode does upload on Fridays, so I don't know what I'm worrying about. But
you go.
Yeah. Now we have not as busy as a week as last week, I don't think.
No.
But we do have some pretty serious topics that we're going to get into later on in the episode. As most of you probably know, there's a whole big sort of lawsuit going on against Activision Blizzard by the state of California. And that's undoubtedly probably the biggest thing in like the gaming world at the moment, and I guess sort of in pop culture, I guess you could say as well.
Yep.
And so it'd be kind of rude for us to not go over it. Having said that, I do want to sort of put an asterisk next to my name. It's like I am no sort of like expert in any of the things we're going to talk about later on. So
Me too.
You know,
cross my heart.
Yeah, neither of us are. You know, but I feel like like I said, it'd be kind of rude to not bring it up and just try and discuss it, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah.
But we're going to start off with some more lighter topics, I guess. So Jenz, how's your the past week been since we last recorded?
Pretty good. It's been we were in lockdown. So yeah, it's been really rainy and gross outside. It's been so windy.
Yeah.
Incredibly windy.
It's been pretty windy here as well. Not as bad as what it's been down there, I don't think. But after a couple of days, it was pretty hectic up here. I think it's sort of calming down now a little bit, but not,
Yeah, like there's still a strong wind, but
yeah.
But other than that, we've just been streaming. Any games that is interesting?
Yeah, any stand-up games that I can think of.
Death's Door. I don't know if I spoke about that last week, but that's pretty good.
No, we didn't. Yeah.
Oh, we didn't.
Because I think it came out.
After the episode?
Day that we uploaded. I want to say like the Friday. I think. Okay. I think it released that day. I can't remember exactly.
Death's Door is good.
But yeah, it would have been after. Yes, that does look adorable. I did pick it up after watching maybe 15, 20 minutes of the stream. I was like, yeah, this looks like I would enjoy it. I haven't yet to play it. I have yet to play it, yeah. But it's similar to I know their other game. I do have their other game.
They have it? Oh.
Titans. It's Titans something.
Oh yeah.
But it's very similar. Very similar sort of like roguelike type thing in the sense that it's sort of I guess it's just like a top down. I would describe it as a top down Dark Souls. Because it's sort of just like it's very much focused around like the Titan battles or like the boss battles, I guess. And they're pretty rough. So
yes.
I guess a 2D Dark Souls is how I would describe it. But
Pretty much.
It did look quite similar to this. And I also got like very Bastion vibes and Transistor vibes from this as well. So
a recommended game to it. So yeah.
Yes, yeah, I would recommend those. I do have those as well. They're quite good games.
Yeah, I've always wanted to play Bastion like before I was a streamer, but never really got around to doing it.
No, I think pick it up. I think it's pretty cheap these days. I think it's only like $15, $20 or something. And then like if they do a sale, you can pick it up even cheaper. So whack that bad boy on the old wish list.
Yes.
And then pick it up when it comes down a bit. But no, yeah.
What about you? What you been up to?
Nothing too much. Just been working and uni and things like that. Yeah, nothing to call home about. I haven't been playing too much, just been watching sort of the Olympics a little bit here and there.
Oh yeah.
I've been enjoying that. We were up on, what was it? Monday morning? Was it that we watched skateboarding?
Monday.
I can't remember. But yeah, we were all up in the Discord watching the women's skateboarding finals, which was great. I freaking love that skateboarding's part of the Olympics now. It's outstanding. I do highly recommend, Jenz, if you haven't though, go and track down the men's final.
Oh
Because if you
yeah.
thought the women's final was good, the men's, they're crazy, man. Some of the, oh my god.
I will have to. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I've sort of been filling my free time with is just Olympics catch up. So
Fair enough. Fair
yeah,
enough.
nothing too exciting. Nothing too exciting.
Well, I guess should we get on to the news?
I guess so. I guess yeah. Why not? Um, this looked pretty exciting. The little trailer that they released
It's great.
alongside this. But Battlefield Portal, they announced sort of I guess it's like a new game mode that they're creating for you know, the new Battlefield that's coming out 2042 later in the year. And it sort of seems like they're trying to like just throw as many of the most exciting and I guess like memorable parts of all the other Battlefields into one game mode.
Right.
So I guess it's sort of like a creative game mode that lets players create and share their own sort of unique battles. So instead of just like joining a random server and just playing whatever map it gives you, it'll let you do it like on whatever map they pick from all the old Battlefields, and then you can also use all the old weapons and vehicles and like, you know, just a whole bunch of different old things and mix and match it to sort of make it a bit like, I guess, unique and crazy. And then they also stated that like inside this game mode there was going to be some sort of like, I guess, sub game modes. So it was going to be like defibs versus knives, you know, like maybe rocket launchers only, like, you know, sort of like more party or I guess fun oriented game modes.
It's like fully customizable, which is really great.
Yeah. It looked fun. So, and I mean, like for a lot of, you know, for you, like you and Steve and Jen's streamers and things, this would be a big thing.
This would be great
because for like, you know, community game nights and whatnot, it's stuff like that. So it looked very much fun.
Yeah, the mode and the play, like the little video they showed where it was like one tank and then all those little droney boys. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I know, it just looks like stupid fun. You know, I don't know how long I would be able to handle it and play it. Like I feel like at some point
so much. Like
but I still feel like at some point I'd have to just go and join like a normal server and just a normal map and just play Battlefields like the proper way, you know, sort of the more strategic way. Because in these sort of like silly gamers, like I know when I know Call of Duty does it with like Sticks and Stones and like One in the Chamber and things like that, and they all have Prop Hunt now as well. And it's like, they're fun for like the first 2 or 3 games, and after that, like, all right, just give me Search and Destroy, you know, like it's
But yeah, it'll be a good time for streamers, that's for sure. And it's a nice it's nice that they're just adding it on to the game rather than it be like, oh, he's
its own separate thing.
It you know, you don't have to pay extra for it, which is good.
Yeah. It'd be kind of shit if they made it that way, but
it would be.
Very excited for that. I can't wait. So
sorry.
Just take us away, because we're sort of in the midst of, again, another COVID outbreak here in Australia.
Yes.
And we do have PAX announced they were coming back sometime towards the end of this year. But
did they actually say that?
Yeah, they said they locked in a date and things. I can't remember. I think it was like towards the end of October from memory.
Oh, okay.
Or around October. But with all these outbreaks now, I don't think that it's going to happen.
I honestly believe PAX is going to be cancelled.
Yeah, I think so.
But PAX West, which is happening in September, I believe, in America, is announcing that they'll go through with it, but attendees require vaccinations or negative COVID-19 tests. So that, I wonder if they're going to implement this to PAX Oz or just cancel it.
I feel like they're going to have to cancel it.
I feel like they're going to cancel it.
That's going to be what do you call it? Like a requirement to enter.
Yes.
It's interesting that they also give a negative COVID test as like a way to get in though as well, because they can sort of sometimes be false positives.
They can be false positives, which I don't think will fly by in Oz particularly.
No,
this is for the US.
Again, I mean, they're a different breed over there, so they they sort of just do as they please. It feels like. But yeah, I mean, for America, it's probably going to work because also most of the population is already vaccinated. It
is quite easy to get a vaccination over there compared to here.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think in America, or at least half, are already vaccinated, where in Australia it's like less than.
It's like 12% or something.
Yeah, it's like 11.
Like that. Yeah. Or I literally I think Coles and supermarket employee workers all around the country now can access that we get the Pfizer. We're Pfizer gang now.
I'm so glad.
But you can only, in New South Wales at least at the moment, it's only for the people that are in the lockdown areas, like the
zones.
There's like a couple of zones in Sydney that are locked down even further than the rest of it. So like, you know, like Southwest Sydney, like your Campbelltown, Liverpool, like those sorts of areas. And then Blacktown is also one of the ones. And I think Parramatta this morning was announced as another one. But so far only I'm not in those areas, unfortunately.
So you can't get it?
So I still can't get it. But I'm like almost there, you know? Like,
yeah.
So it's like that's how hard it is to get a vaccine in Australia. It's crazy.
It's really hard.
Yeah. So hopefully soon.
Fingers crossed. What was I gonna say? It's interesting that they're doing this in terms of like you need to show that you've been vaccinated. I think F1 in Silverstone in England, that was 2 weeks ago, they had a full turnout in terms of the crowd. Which first time in a long time. And they all had to be vaccinated. So
I mean, it was like that with the Euros as well. We recently just had the European Cup competition that was being held, and I think mostly in England,
right,
and maybe a couple other European countries as well. But yeah, they also had like fans back in the stadiums and whatnot. You know, unfortunately, England couldn't win even on their home turf.
Oh
but,
no.
But it's weird to see like that amount of people in one area.
But then you know? It was good, but then didn't that match end up in a fight?
Afterwards it did in the crowds.
Yeah, it was really pretty bad.
Not for the players. The players.
No. I mean the crowd. I mean
it was horrible too.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah. Lando Norris was at, who's a driver, F1 driver. He was at the match and he got mugged.
Yeah. That's what there's a lot of in England and the UK there's like this very big sort of like they call it the hooligan culture or like the football hooligans.
It's actually a psychology term. I learned it.
Yeah. It's a whole big thing, you know. And it's they're still very much a problem, unfortunately. And they're the people that sort of go to these large events looking to pick fights with people from like the opposite team or like fans from the opposite team. Like they're just there to cause shit and cause havoc, basically.
But it's such a shame the first time they open the doors to fans and then this shit happens. It's like, come on.
I mean, I wasn't really surprised, you know.
No?
No. When you heard it was going to be held at Wembley Stadium and like, you know, in the middle of like England, just after everyone's come out of like a lockdown and like you could tell that people were going to like, you know, they were going to go hard, you know, and especially with their home country like playing as well. That also like adds to it, I guess, a little bit. I bet. You know, obviously they want to see them win, so when they don't win, they're going to get pretty rowdy.
They're going to throw their fists up.
Yeah. So yeah. But I guess moving back onto topic a little bit, Jenz. How do you feel about like places, I guess, requiring you to be vaccinated to go into? Because it's a very new sort of, I guess, like thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not too sure. I don't have any kids, and I can't remember when I went to school, like primary school. I can't remember if you have to be vaccinated.
Oh,
like
for like
here, like here in Australia, I can't remember if you have to be vaccinated for like measles and like chickenpox and things like that, because they can spread so quickly. I know when I was in high school, they do give out like Hep B, Hep C, Hep A vaccinations and things like that.
In Malaysia, like you don't get any of that. You don't like I've never heard of a vaccination like before I came to Australia. Like I had one vaccination when I was a baby, and every like Asian kid I know has the same scar. but that's pretty much
Yeah.
it. That's all I had to do.
Yeah.
And then so when I came
But
here and they gave me like the one for cervical cancer, I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
like, you didn't get this at school? It's like, no, of
Yeah.
course not.
Yeah. It's a whole thing over here. But having said that too, I can't remember if it was mandatory or not. You know, I can't
Right.
remember if they were like, you have to get this to continue on in school, because it was like in year 8 or year 9. I don't think it was in year 7.
Right.
So like we'd already been there for a year and a bit. So I
don't
I can't
know.
remember, but yeah, it's like I'm down for it. You know, I'm
Yeah.
100% going to get the COVID vaccine as soon as I'm eligible to. So I have absolutely no problem with this, but I know there are people out there that do have a problem with being sort of, I guess, forced, or you know, I guess heavily required to have a vaccine to at least go places now. You know, and I know, like, I think Qantas
Yeah.
when they
The
do open up
flights.
international borders and things, we're also considering having it a requirement that you have to be vaccinated to be able to board a Qantas flight. You know, yeah. So I guess, yeah. What are your thoughts on this whole situation?
I'm all for it. I think,
Yeah.
you know, especially if you're going overseas to like,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
the
of
thing
course you
is,
should
though,
be
like
vaccinated.
you would know recently as well. You would know recently as well, because like before all this blew up, you and Steven went to Bali, and
Yeah.
before you go to Bali, they give you a whole list of things that you need to be immunized for,
Yeah.
like just in case, you know. And same with Mexico as well. I think you had to get a couple of
Yes.
things before going there, so it sort of already is a thing.
It
you
is a
know?
thing, but like it's also not okay. It is a thing, but it's not enforced.
No, yeah.
Whereas
It's just a heavy recommendation of like,
Yeah.
if you don't get it, you could possibly get very sick, you know?
especially with Hep B, like that's the one
Yeah.
that Australia really looks out for, because I had
Yep.
to do a
Yep.
few medical tests for the partner visa, and they always check
Okay,
for
yep.
Hep B, Hep C. Yeah, those two.
Yeah, this is like a list of, yeah.
But yeah, like if you get it, that and like you're coming back from being overseas, they could deny you entry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just and your own safety, like
It's not only your safety, but for everyone else's
that.
safety
Yeah,
as well,
exactly.
you know?
It's
Which is,
mostly
I
for
guess, the whole
everyone's
thing
safety.
here.
That's what vaccinations are for. It's not
Yeah,
just you.
Exactly. I see a lot of people online sort of arguing that thing. They're like, well, what's the point if I get the vaccine and I can still carry it and I can still pass it on to other people and I can still get sick of it? What's the point of me getting the vaccine? I'm like, the whole point is to stop you from getting deathly ill.
Yeah.
Like at the moment, yes, the vaccine works enough that you can still contract COVID, but it's just not going to like absolutely floor you and probably put you in the hospital.
Yeah.
Which is the whole point. And it's the same as the flu vaccine, the influenza vaccine. Even if you get the influenza vaccine, I'm pretty sure you can still catch the
You'll
flu.
still
It's
catch
just not
it,
gonna
yeah.
it's just not gonna hit you as hard. That's
Yeah,
the whole point.
totally.
Is it's not a 100% cure. There's no like 100% cure for these things out there. It's just like a preventative measure, you know. And so yeah, but yeah, I'm the same as you. I'm all for it. Like I'd be fine if they implemented those things here in Australia for a lot of the events that are coming up and like for the near future and whatnot.
Yeah, it would just suck if they implement them this year, where a lot of people
Where
are
it's so
struggling
hard
to get
a vaccine already.
vaccination.
Yeah.
But if it's the stage where the US have it, where it's like they're struggling to get more and more people vaccinated, then sure, make sure people have a vaccination certificate before they enter an event.
Yeah. And it's a whole thing too over in the US. I've seen like people
Oh my God,
proud
it's insane.
to have their COVID vaccine. Like there's people out there. When I troll Etsy sometimes, there are people who are making 3D printed vaccination card holders and things.
Oh wow.
You know, sort of like an ID card holder.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, they're going ham with this thing, man. You know, and there's people that are like, you know, oh, what are you? I'm Pfizer gang. You know, I'm Johnson & Johnson Club. I'm like, you know, it's this whole sort of, I guess, big
The one thing I
big
like,
thing.
I don't particularly love is the whole like, oh, I'm this gang or this gang. Shouldn't it just be you're vaccinated?
I'm vaccinated.
Be happy with that rather than, because like
exactly.
I'm in a situation where I'm like, should I just get AstraZeneca? And then like, but then everyone who's like, oh yeah, Pfizer gang, let's go. It's like, well, I'm not gonna, you feel bad for not being part of it.
Yeah.
And then
No,
so if
you feel like
wait,
you missed out a little bit.
Yeah, and then so if you wait and don't get AstraZeneca, and you might not get it for like a year, Pfizer, it just like, exactly. I feel like it should be like, yes, we're all part of the vaccination club, rather than this club and this club and this club.
Yeah, at the moment for someone like you have absolutely no time frame as to when they're going to open up like vaccinations for you, like in your age group, in your like line of work and anything like that. Like there's no time frame.
Yeah.
Like I was in the same boat as well. Like we had absolutely no time frame as when we were going to get it, and only 2 or 3 days ago we found out that we were going to be eligible for this like sort of new rollout thing. So it can change so quickly, like it's
Anyways,
but talk to your GP.
Yeah,
about
I think
Astra.
I'm gonna.
They'll give you the A-OK because they'll probably like check your history and like give you maybe a test or two to see like how it might affect you and things like that, and then give you the A-OK. So
yeah, I sent an email to my neurologist just because of like that's like risk of stroke stuff. So I just want to see if AstraZeneca would be a good or bad idea. That's all.
Yeah.
Anyway,
hopefully hear good news. But yeah, now something I sort of am starting to get into is like watch collecting and things like that.
You've already started.
A little bit.
Have you heard of this one, by the way?
No, I haven't. I want to see photos of it. I might look it up real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
But Jenz, do you want to take us away on this one?
Sure. So it's no big news that gaming and fashion, collaborate, but I don't know if there has been a collaboration in terms of this brand, Tag Heuer.
Oh, wait, no, I have seen this. Sorry.
Oh, you have?
There has been. I know Seiko. Seiko's one of the brands that I really like.
Seiko, yeah.
And Seiko, being a Japanese brand, obviously they're very in tie with like Japanese culture and, their whole sort of whatnot. And obviously video games in Japan are, a big thing. And so they've done a bunch. They've done collections with like Capcom before. I think they're doing ones with Sega soon, or they're doing a new collection, a video game collection sometimes. Pokemon's on. Sorry, that's what I'm thinking of. They're doing a Sega Pokemon collection, which I was very interested in. So that it's happened before, but yeah, sorry to interrupt.
No, that's okay. And I'm gonna correct it. It's Tag Heuer, I think. Is it?
Yeah. Also, my pronunciation of Seiko could be very wrong. But that's how I pronounce it. So
that's fine.
Seiko. Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, the watch is said to use a gamification reward system, which this part actually is really cool. So you know how on smartwatches these days, if you complete your recommended
like your
steps,
rings and things like that.
The rings on Apple. If you complete those, it's gonna play a little greeting from Mario and Mushroom Kingdom themed animations that as you hit various steps goals throughout your day, which is so good. I love that.
I love it. Yeah.
It's the small things, but
it really is. Yeah.
At the same time, I don't know if it values if it really I don't know if the price tag is what I would pay for the small things.
It's I think it is a smart watch, so it's not a traditional like analog watch. And Tag Heuer, as Jenz pronounces it.
Yeah.
They are quite a sort of high end watch brand. They're not like you're sort of like minimalist or like your sort of entry point watch brand. They are sort of up there in terms of price. So it's definitely not like an entry level watch. And having said that, I'm looking at the website right now and it does say sold out. So even if you were looking at getting it, you can't anymore.
There was a very limited run. I think there were only 2,000 or 200 made. I can't remember which one.
Okay, yeah. Which it doesn't surprise me.
But there is they might put this into other watches in the Tag Heuer line. So in terms of the reward system part of it, so it could be something that comes back in the watch line if you are looking for it. But in terms of this Nintendo collaboration, there are 4 new Mario watch faces, including a timekeeping face that features retro elements from the 1985 version of Super Mario Bros. With Mario all in pixels, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. I'm looking at them now. They're all great. There's like a hang on, let me
Oh
pull it
yeah.
up here. So there's one there. There's Mario just standing in the middle, sort of like looking at you, with his hands on his hips. There's another one which is a typical chronograph watch face. So it has like the stopwatch and
Yeah.
the seconds and minutes sort of timers in there. And then Mario is in just above the date window, sort of like waving at you through like a little chronograph window. There's a third one where it's just got a Mario. The Mario head is on the base of the seconds hand as it ticks around, so nothing too crazy. It looks more like a traditional watch. This watch
Right.
face, and then like Jen said, there's the retro one, which is like a digital watch face. It looks like, which is all 8-bit and like very retro looking. And then there's one that I thought was a space. It looks like a sort of a constellation type watch face,
Cool.
which you just had. It's very simple. It's just got the time on it, a black background. But then the stars, if you look closely, they're actually little like Mario, like emblems or like just significations that they're from Mario. So
Right.
like there's the mushroom, the 1-up mushroom. There's like this power up mushroom. It's just flicked over to a green shell, like a Yoshi shell. So it's like sort of the more, I guess, low key minimalist type watch face, I guess. And yeah, they all look good. I feel like I would use the stock standard Mario one
Yeah.
a lot. It looks like it's the more fun one. Him just chilling there looking at you.
It is. I haven't mentioned. It'll cost you $2,150, but it is sold out. So if you did have that money, you missed out.
See, to me, that feels like it's too expensive for a smartwatch.
It's
Because I know, like I said before, like Tag Heuer is like they're not an entry level watch brand for any means. But it's like if all smartwatches do sort of the same thing to a certain degree, like they all track steps, they all track height, they all track heart rate and whatnot. They give you messages. You can answer your phone. You can like do tap and pay now with them. Like they sort of all do the same thing. It's like you just sort of it's a bit expensive. I feel like for what it is, and I know they have to keep that whole I guess there's like the brand image is a big thing. Like people obviously associate Tag Heuer with like expense and like a certain like I guess class and all that sort of stuff, luxury. Yeah. So you have to do that, and then you also have to pay for the properties. So like they're obviously doing a deal with Nintendo, so they probably have to mark it up somehow because Nintendo wants a certain cut of all the sales. So
seems like a lot still.
It does. That's what I mean. It's like it seems like a lot for a smartwatch. I think if you can go to the Apple Store and buy the Gen 4
watch.
Apple Apple Watch, whatever it is, for like $5.99.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of steep,
Yeah.
It's that's quadruple the price almost. So I don't know. For that price I wouldn't pick it up. But, power to the people that did, I guess. Congratulations on your new lovely watch. I hope you fill all the rings and make Mario a very happy companion. But yeah. Moving on though, Jens, do you remember last week how we talked about the Stream Deck?
It's the Steam Deck.
I know it's the Steam Deck. God damn it, stupid fucking naming. But apparently, Valve has not found a single game that the Steam Deck. I see, I did it again. The Steam Deck can't handle, which is a very bold claim, I might add.
Really?
A very bold claim. Now, there is a little bit of an asterisk with this, which I'll get into in a little bit.
I was going to say.
They recently did a sort of an interview and a sit down with IGN to sort of showcase it working like in real time. So there's a good video that we can link in the comments, in the description, or you could go and just look it up afterwards on IGN. It's sort of just, there was just used to show it working and how it sort of all works and functions and, yada, yada, yada. So in this interview they did with IGN, designers and programmers at Valve explained that after years of testing and developing the hardware, so apparently they've been working on this for a good couple of years now. But apparently the Steam Deck has reached a level of performance that might surprise some people. So Valve coder, and I hope I'm not going to butcher his name, Pierre-Luc Griffiths, a very French name, uh, states that we've been looking at various games over the past few years in the back catalog. Now, when I heard back catalog, I was like, oh, hang on a minute. They're talking about, like, obviously it can run any game from 6 years ago because you would
Right.
expect that. But then he goes on, but the real test for us was games that were coming out last year. So, very modern games still. The Steam Deck then couldn't really run very well on the previous types of prototypes and architectures we were now testing. But now with this latest version of Steam Deck, so assumably the one they're going to ship, Valve seems confident the device is finally performing better and is now able to run anything that the company throws at it.
Anything.
And now this is where the asterisk comes into play, because it goes on to state that, however, in the video with IGN, it's mentioned that the Steam Deck is targeting 30 frames per second on its 800p display. So this is where the whole question of, like, are you still excited for it?
Is that good
like it being
enough?
No, I don't think so. If you're trying to associate, like, PC gaming, like if you just think of PC gaming, what's the one thing that people get into PC gaming for? Is the high performance. Like we can run games at 4K quite easily. We can run games, 120 frames per second.
Yeah.
Like my monitor's capable of 165 hertz. Like we're sort of pushing as far as we can. We never really settle for 30 frames per second.
No.
I don't. If my game's pushing 30 frames, I uninstall it, or I try and get a refund for it, or I something's gone wrong. Like it panics me.
The fact that new next gen consoles have already thrown away 30 frames per second and is aiming for 60 minimum. That's.
I mean, again, there's an asterisk with that, because like I know for most of those next gen games, almost all of them, you have to put it into like performance mode to get the 60 frames per second. But then when you put it in performance mode, you can't put 4K. You can only run it in 1080p.
Yeah.
If you run it in 1080p, you can then get 60 frames per second, but then you're only running in 1080p. Like it's sort of,
I mean, 1080p is great still.
1080p is fine. It's fine. But like people are out there expecting to go and pick up a PS5, plug it into their like brand new Samsung 4K TV, and
That's
just
true.
play like Miles Morales at 4K,
like,
60 frames per second native. Like it's not gonna do it that well. It's gonna get there halfway, but so it's But I don't know, Jenz. Are you surprised, I guess, at this? Because I don't think I'm surprised at all.
I'm not surprised at all, because I still think it's gonna be an indie box. Fully.
Yeah, same.
You will not play an amazingly like Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
You would not want to play Cyberpunk on there.
No, bro, it's Cyberpunk's probably gonna crash this somehow.
I don't think Cyberpunk's gonna exist on this.
Man, that's sketchy.
Yeah.
I can see people, I think, somehow playing GTA 5 though, because you think GTA 5 is like fucking 16 years old at this rate or something stupid like that. I don't know. This GTA 5 has been on, I think, 3 console generations now. Yeah, it's been on the Xbox 360, PS3, then it came to the Xbox One and the PS4, and now it's on the new Xboxes and the new PS. Like, it's been on 3 console generations. Yeah. So that's I think like GTA 5 is gonna be as far as you're gonna push it, But then having said that, it's gonna be very reminiscent of the Xbox 360 version of GTA 5 that runs at 30 frames per second, and like the draw distance is not very far, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't surprise me. It's still cool that it's coming out and that it is being made, because obviously there are a lot of PC indie games that aren't available on mobile phones or on other consoles to sit on the couch and play. So this sort of fills that gap, you know? And yeah, I don't know. I still don't think I'm going to pick it up. I still don't think.
No, not straight away.
Yeah.
Maybe the Steam Deck 2.
Yeah. And I guess as well, like if I see it running more games, like I think I said this last week when we talked about it, if I see it running games that I think I'm going to be able to play on it, like in a YouTube video or something, and it's performing well, then it would convince me. But at the moment, I haven't seen much that would convince me to pick it up, So yeah, probably still a skip for me, but still kind of cool that Steam, the Valve are at least testing it hard enough that they are confident enough that it can run almost anything they throw at it in 30 frames per second. So yeah, I guess Well done, Valve. Keep it up. You still got a couple of months until it pushes, until it comes out though as well. So they might be able to push it further, and I guess like, maybe just tweak it a little bit so it performs a little bit better. I'm not sure.
Hopefully, but probably not.
I doubt it. I doubt it. Yeah, unless you have some major hardware revisions, I doubt it. Now, I did mention at the start of the episode we're going to get into some pretty deep topics.
Yeah.
And now this is where it's going to get a little bit wiry.
Just a little, I guess, content warning.
Yes.
About sexual harassment. We won't go into the details of actually what happened.
No.
It will be revolving around sexual harassment. So, yeah, content warning there.
If you do want to find out, though, there are a whole bunch of like write-ups and things on it. And you could probably actually find a copy of the actual lawsuit that they're being hit with to read, because I have read a fair bit into this. And they do go into detail as to some of the things that do occur, which, like Jensen, we're not going to get into today because we sort of want to keep it a bit more, like, I guess, chill. But they're pretty horrific.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have been warned if you do go try and look and read it, because it can get pretty rough. But alas. So I guess I'm just going to start off with, for those that haven't heard, Activision Blizzard have been hit with a lawsuit from the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing, which claims that the employees have faced constant sexual harassment, including groping comments and advances, due to the frat boy culture workplace that sort of, I guess, they've cultivated over there. The suit, which comes from after 2 years of an investigation by the Department of Fair Employment and Housing, which is quite a crazy sort of thing. They obviously wouldn't sue such a large company if they hadn't found anything in a 2-year investigation. So you have to know that all of this is true. Like there's no sort of like lying about this. There's no way around it. These things happened. Because it's also obviously investigated by a third party. If it was investigated by like people that worked for Blizzard and Activision and they didn't find anything miraculously, you'd be like, okay, something sus has gone on here. But the fact that they got a third party in to do it all was like, geez.
Pretty serious.
It's very serious, yeah. So yeah, after 2 years of investigation, it also alleges that women at Activision and Blizzard were paid less than their male counterparts, which in the same roles, and promoted more slowly than them. This is not just a problem in video games; this is a problem in a lot of other industries as well, which does need to change. So it's not just Activision Blizzard doing this; it's a lot of other companies. Funnily enough, though, Activision Blizzard has vigorously denied these claims. Which, very surprising that they would come out on this leg, because like I said, the fact that they had to get a third party in, like the government, to come and do an investigation, and even them finding things, is like, how can you deny this? How can you be the company and be like, these things didn't happen? You guys must have found some bullshit. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what they're trying to pull, but trying to pull something. And a little bit further down the article that I was reading, it does go into some sort of details just about so complaints to Activision Blizzard's human resources staff, as well as executives, including Blizzard president J. Allen Brack, were ineffective as they quote, complaints were treated in a perfunctory and dismissive manner and not kept confidential. Which resulted in staff who complained being subjected to retaliation, including but not limited to being deprived of work on projects, unwillingly transferred to different units, and selected for layoffs. Not what should be happening here at all.
Yeah.
Not what should be happening. If a complaint's made to human resources in business, in my understanding as well, just in any small business, that's confidential between you and human resources, until human resources decides that it doesn't have to be confidential anymore, and they bring in like the opposing party or whoever you had a confrontation with for like a sit down meeting at the time or something to try and like do some conflict resolution type thing. You keep that confidential. You don't go telling everyone in the lunchroom like, oh, Jill had like an outing with Steven. There's just, you don't do that. and the facts that like they're being selected for layoffs as well, just because of they're bringing up these events that happened,
Yeah,
is horrendous. Like it's basically a way of silencing these people.
totally.
It's So, and then Jen says, "Well, do you want to go down? They're staging a walkout today. Actually, the day of recording, Wednesday.
Well, maybe
over
tomorrow
there.
for the US.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, employees at Activision are planning to protest, basically,
Mhm.
for the publisher's abhorrent and insulting response to the ongoing lawsuit that documents claims of sexual harassment of women, pay violations, and a frat boy culture. The employee group demands that executives at Activision Blizzard improve conditions for employees at the company, especially women, and in particular women of color and transgender women, non-binary people, and other marginalized groups. So there is also a protest that will be happening across online because of COVID and all that stuff, through a hashtag as well.
And I've seen people in World of Warcraft actually recently as well. I forget where, because I don't play World of Warcraft. I never have. I don't think I ever will now. But they were basically, I think they were gathering together as many people as they could on like as many different servers, and they were blocking off like a doorway to go into a certain like area of the map or something, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as a way to like sort of, I guess, stand up to Blizzard and Activision and be like, we as players also don't agree with the things that are going on, And then I saw a bunch of people online were like, well, why are they still playing the game? If they're standing up to Blizzard and whatnot. And it's like, you sort of got to understand that World of Warcraft is based on a subscription service, so you can probably assume that the players had already paid for their time on the server that month, or like a lot of people buy it in like 6 months chunks and whatnot. So they probably already had access to the game. So it's just another way, I guess, to do this. I guess this stand up. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a weird situation coming from a streamer who has a work relationship with Activision / Blizzard. Because obviously I do not stand with sexual harassment. That is not okay. But I also, Blizzard, Activision Australia, all the employees based in Australia that I know may have not at all contributed to these outcomes, but they may also lose.
I do think we have to state that this, like, obviously it's from the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing, so obviously they are more I guess are more targeted towards like North America, like Blizzard operations and things like that.
Assuming
you couldn't assume. We don't know the whole nitty-gritty details of it and how far it spreads. But you could probably assume that it is mainly aimed towards North America and all that sort of stuff. But sorry, go on, Jens.
I don't know. It's just weird because like a lot of people are going to be punished from the acts of a handful of the employees, is what I'm trying to say. And so it's like, I think you said their stocks or their value has dropped something $1 billion.
I think I saw just before when we were researching this a little bit, that their valuation has dropped by $9 billion US. Which is a crazy amount.
And so it would just
because of this suit
that a couple of like really bad people are going to affect a lot of people's jobs. So at the same time, I'm like, yes, you should boycott them. Yes, you should, express yourself and how you feel, and like it's not okay. They shouldn't get away with this. But it's also like, but then what about the people who weren't involved?
It's the people that you're going to indirectly impact. Like
it's a weird situation to be in.
They weren't involved in any of this sort of like stuff and whatnot, but they just get caught up in the whole mess of it all.
And
it's not just the people that work for Activision Blizzard in other regions, like like Jen said, like they have Activision Blizzard down here in like Asia and Oceania and stuff like that. And then have like a Europe brand as well. But so obviously, like those guys are going to get affected. But then you also got to think, sort of like in people like in Jen's situation that have like a business sort of relationship with the company, like streamers and content creators and all that sort of stuff. They're also going to be impacted either indirectly by their own choice or not.
Yeah.
Because like let's just say like I decide to stream World of Warcraft, I could probably get people in my chat that are gonna be like, "Why are you playing this game? Do you know what this company does?" Like, and then that's gonna impact my
Yeah.
potential earnings from playing a game. And then you look at the other side, and it's like I saw on Twitter that there's this streamer that's taking an extended break from streaming at the moment. I think just to sort of like recharge and refresh, and she's been doing it for a couple of months now, I'm assuming. And her scheduled like return time to stream was going to be next week, and she's built most of her career for playing World of Warcraft. And she tweeted that she was absolutely petrified at coming back to stream next week because she just doesn't know what she's going to play. Like she's also sort of boycotting Activision Blizzard and not playing World of Warcraft, but she's now like, is this going to like obviously it's going to impact my earnings because I'm not playing the game that's basically built my career or helped build my career, and so most of my viewership's going to go down. Like like what are my long-term viewers going to do? Because they're just there to see World of Warcraft. They're not going to want to watch other games. And so it's like, it's now going to directly impact those people as well that play these Activision Blizzard games that now don't want to because it's not morally or ethically viable. It's a whole mess, like whichever way you look at it, it's just,
it's a double-edged sword. If you play the game, if you don't play the game, it's
exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's absolutely horrible.
It's
I don't know why we wanted to. I felt like it was just important to bring this up. I don't really know where we're going to go with it, but like it needs to be said. It needs to be heard. Yeah. So it's yeah. I think
it's important to talk about, to acknowledge that this is happening. I'm sure you guys all have heard of anyways, but
it is happening. It has been happening. It's still happening. Like it's horrible. And
I just hope it.
And I guess
resolves itself in punishing the right people. So
yes, yeah, you really hope so. I think I've seen some headlines of people like starting to leave, or people are like they've already been sort of singled out as people that are like performing these sorts of like egregious acts and whatnot. So they're sort of being called out, basically, I guess, which is good because it's going to put them in the limelight, and they're going to have to either explain themselves and leave the company, or find some way to weasel out of it, like they probably will. You can assume, unfortunately. But yeah. So I guess we can keep you guys updated as well as this does progress, because it is a big legal case, so it's probably going to take a while to sort it out and figure out where it all goes, and these things can take ages. So I guess if any sort of big news comes of it, we can report on it. But yeah, I guess so, Jens, I think that wraps us up for this week. Ending on quite a heavy note.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it definitely needed to be said. It needed to be heard. So thank you guys for listening to that. Was there anything you wanted to add on, Jens, before we do wrap up for the week?
No, not really, except I hope everyone's safe and getting along all right.
Please stay home. Please. We want to be able to go out by summertime, so please stay home.
Good luck, New South Wales.
Yeah. But yeah, no, pretty much the same from me. So I guess thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.